Here with us this evening, I'm Terry Brewer. Lynn Brooks is on assignment tonight. It's the day some kids love, others aren't so excited about, and lots of parents look forward to. Back to school is officially here. In our top story at 5 o'clock, we're taking you to schools across Tuscaloosa County for the first day of school. This year, schools across Alabama started later due to school calendar changes made by state lawmakers. Students in both the Tuscaloosa County and city schools went back to school today, along with other districts across the state. Students at Huntington Place Elementary School in Northport filled the halls this morning. One third grade teacher, Crystal Trawick, says there's nothing like the first day of school.
Just to see their little faces when they come in here, they're so excited to be back, or most of them are, I should say. And just an interesting day of getting to know them getting to know me, and remembering a lot of names, and just the checklist of things we need to go over today to start the year off right and set expectations high, and it starts off a good year.
Here's a look at just a couple of the things happening in the Tuscaloosa County schools this year. Interim Superintendent Dan Butler says his system is focused on forming partnerships with businesses so students will know what is expected in the workforce. Also, the Tuscaloosa County school system is conducting a pilot program allowing personal electronic devices like cell phones, e-readers, or computers in some classrooms. Our cameras also went to Central Elementary School to see the Tuscaloosa City Schools kick off their school year. Students and teachers were excited to be back in class. Faculty members said they were glad to see their students after the summer break.
It's been very hectic, but good. I'm glad to see my students back.
But it was very steady and crowded, but organized.
And now a look at a few of the changes in the Tuscaloosa City Schools this year. The system is implementing a new robotics program for middle school students. Also, high schools are changing from block schedule to a 7-period day. And if you haven't gotten your child's back-to-school vaccinations, the Tuscaloosa County Health Department is holding walk-in clinics this week. No appointment is needed, but you do need to bring an immunization record and Medicaid card. Today's clinic runs until 6 p.m. There's another clinic Wednesday, August 22nd, 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. For more information, you can call 205-562-7007. Today also marks the first day of school at the Capitol School in Tuscaloosa, where things got started off a little differently this morning.
Uns gefällt schon lange hier und alle neuen Schüler, die grüßen wir.
The International School had a special ceremony this morning based on a German tradition. Parents in Germany traditionally give their children a present filled with gifts, candy, and school supplies on the first day of school. The Capitol School adopted this tradition and has a special ceremony on the first day of school each year. German is one of 3 languages that the Capitol School teaches.
Is it stickers, honey?
On your Crime Watch, the latest on a murder investigation in Northport. The victim is a woman investigators say was found dead in her home on Bridge Avenue. Investigators say Julius Cockrell is the suspect charged with murder. The woman killed was 73-year-old Liza Lee Franklin. Investigators say they found a knife at the scene of the crime, and they believe that was the murder weapon.
This case is unusual in the fact that we had a suspect name before we had a victim. It took Northport Police some time to actually locate the residence where this victim was. A search immediately began for the suspect. Law enforcement agencies in this county committed all their resources to try to find him, and ultimately he was found due to a tip from the public in an area near a residence, hiding in a shed.
Cockrell is in the Tuscaloosa County Jail being held on $75,000 bond. Well, some comments from a U.S. congressman from Missouri are drawing outrage across the country. Representative Todd Aiken is backtracking on his controversial comments about rape and pregnancy. There are now calls from within the Republican Party for the U.S. congressman to drop out of the U.S. Senate race in Missouri. Reporter Elizabeth Corridan has the latest from Washington.
I used the wrong words in the wrong way.
Apologies Monday from a sitting U.S. congressman who just one day earlier said it's unlikely women who are raped can get pregnant. Todd Aiken is the Republican nominee for the U.S. Senate race in Missouri. When asked about abortion rights for female rape victims, he said,
from what I understand from doctors, that's really rare. If it's a legitimate rape,
the female body has ways to try to shut that whole thing down.
Controversy erupted almost immediately.
As a survivor of something so heinous as sexual assault, to say something like that, it sets me back.
Aiken is standing by his anti-abortion stance, but admits he misspoke.
And I made that statement in error. Let me be clear. Rape is never legitimate. I also know that people do become pregnant from rape, and I didn't mean to imply that wasn't the case.
His Democratic opponent, incumbent Claire McCaskill, is on the attack.
This statement is a kind of a window into Todd Aiken's mind.
As the GOP tries to appeal to more women, the Romney-Ryan campaign wants voters to know it does not agree with Aiken, and if elected, would not oppose abortion in instances of rape. The White House is going even further on the issue.
What I think these comments do underscore is why we shouldn't have a bunch of politicians, a majority of whom are men, making healthcare decisions on behalf of women.
Despite calls for him to bow out, Aiken says he has no intention of doing so. In Washington, I'm Elizabeth Corridan.
Experts say it's hard to determine just how many rapes result in pregnancy. According to the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network and Planned Parenthood, it's about 5%, but those are rough estimates because so many rapes go unreported. On a different note, back in Tuscaloosa this weekend was a first for Tuscaloosa. Cornhole came to Tuscaloosa. The Alabama Cornhole Cup, to be exact. J.C. Park in Alberta hosted the Alabama Cornhole Cup, where professionals and amateurs competed, but it was about more than just the game. An official with the American Cornhole organization says the weekend opened the eyes of visitors to what happened in Tuscaloosa in April of 2011.
I think this is an opportunity for us to bring some awareness to what's going on in your area and a great opportunity for a lot of exposure from across the country.
If you're wondering just how cornhole works, you toss bags at boards and try to get them into the hole. There's different scoring for where the bags land on the board, and the first one to 21 points wins.